know you're somewhere.
Hi Aries, welcome to my channel. My name is Kem. Today Aries, you guys got Swan Spirit. Time for a deep dive, number 60. I didn't really want to pull this one. Like, I kept getting the Swan, but I just felt like I didn't want to get the Swan. Like, I know what this card means, and I was just like, oh. Like, I think that's your energy, that it's like, oh, like, it's time for that. It's time to go there, and I feel like you don't want to because it's exhausting, because I don't think it's supposed to be exhausting, but I think, Aries, when you do go there and you do take it there, there's something there that you don't want to see or you don't want to look at. And that's why when it comes to like this deep dive, this evaluation that you're doing, I feel like it's about you and your love life, because we're coming up with the ring and the wheel and the stars. So when it comes to that aspect in your life, I feel like that's your energy where you're like, oh, like, I don't want to do that. Like, oh, I don't want to evaluate that. Like, oh, I don't really want to look at that, because if you do look at it, what are you going to find there? And that's what I'm getting, Aries. I feel like you're just uncomfortable with this energy. When it, like, in terms of relationships, in terms of commitment, like, there's something there that you don't really want to look at. It could be, I mean, obviously this probably has to do with you, right? So maybe there's something that you're doing, like, maybe you're just blocking yourself from love, and you know that's the case, and it's like as simple as that. But the reason that you're blocking yourself from love is much deeper, obviously, right? It could be a lot of reasons why you're blocking yourself from love, but that's what I'm getting, Aries. Like, you kind of know that if you want to turn the wheel, if you want to make certain changes in your life, I feel like you're very intelligent. Like, you already know all of this. It's just the fact that you don't want to do it. Like, you're just like, I don't have time for it. I don't want to go there. Like, I just keep getting that. I don't want to go there. Like, I just don't want to go there. Like, it's fine. Just please, I don't. That's why I think I kept getting the Swan. And then I kind of got the Fox too, but the main message was like, no, it's the Swan, it's the Swan, it's the Swan. And I'm like, okay. But for some reason I was like, I'll just pull the Fox. And the funny thing about the Fox is that the Fox is very clever. And I kept saying, I feel like you're very intelligent, Aries. Yeah, you're very clever. I feel like you find ways to avoid this part of yourself, or to avoid, like, thinking about this, or, you know, it's like, oh, I got work. Like, you find very clever ways to avoid this. In the 3D, and I think that that's also a problem, Aries, because there's something about, it could be about someone who you're, like, someone you're with right now, and maybe things aren't working out, and you're kind of like, you have to go there, right? You have to go there, like, even if you don't want to go there, like, you have to talk about it. It's not something that anybody likes to do, but I'm kind of getting someone who, I think someone here is blocking themselves a lot from a very deep love, from a very deep commitment, and they know they're doing this, but they're just like, I can't even think about that, right? I can't even talk about that right now. Like, let's just not talk about that. And that's how you've been for a while. We'll find out more with the cards, but that's the vibe I'm getting, Aries. And you're very clever, because you basically almost made me not go there. And you have a lot of 6s and 7. You have 66, 7, and 7, 25 and 16, 7 and 7. So, yeah, I feel like this is something that, with the divine being here, reminds me a little bit of the Hangman, right? With all these 7s, it's like, they're not going to let you really escape this anymore. That's what I'm getting. Like, it's time to take a look at it, Aries, even though you don't want to. So let's pull some more cards on this, Aries. So Aries, I feel like I'm talking to a masculine. Again, it could be whoever. This is just the vibe I'm getting. Pick the energy that fits and suits you. I'm getting this masculine energy, right? You're coming up as the Emperor. This is you, Aries. And I'm getting this energy of, like, you're thinking about something from the past. You're thinking about a relationship, I think, from the past. And I feel like you know that you kind of have, I feel like, kind of like a guilty conscience. Not necessarily guilt, just, I mean, it could be guilt for some of you. For others of you, I'm feeling like this vibe of, like, I think you know that you weren't really putting a lot of effort into that relationship. I think you know that maybe even with that fox energy, you were being a little bit like sneaky. And I feel like you know there was just something that you did in this union that I feel like you know that you're not necessarily proud of or you feel guilty about. Like there's something here heavy on your conscious. And with Swan, time for a deep dive, I feel like you feel it, but you don't want to accept it. You don't want it to like be something that you notice, because if you notice it, then maybe you'd have to like make amends with someone, or you'd have to have a conversation with someone, or even make an apology, right? And I feel like for you it's just easier to go around the problem, but the problem I feel like has a little bit to do with you, which is why you don't want to look at it. I think this person, we have union in the 10 of Pentacles, so I feel like this person that you were dealing with, you have a lot of like respect for. I'm going to pull some cards on them. I feel like you do have respect for this person. And I feel like you want to be authentic with them and kind of explain something that happened in the fallout between the two of you. This is someone from the past, but you don't want to take, like, it's like a responsibility you don't want to take. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you were to go talk to this person, you'd have to take responsibility and you don't want to. That's what I'm getting. Like, you know that you weren't being very fair in this relationship, and you know that maybe even you were kind of just hanging around. I don't feel like you thought you brought a third party into this. Maybe for some of you did, but I feel like you were just in the energy of like, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like, what happens to this person? You kind of gave them the impression, if it was like a relationship or even a friendship, that you just didn't really care. Like, you didn't take it very seriously. That's what I'm getting with the 6 of Coins in reverse and the 5 of Swords. It's kind of like, I know that I didn't do my best because I was kind of busy living my own life and trying to be single, maybe, that type of energy. But we're coming up with the Devil here and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So I feel like you know this, and it's maybe even like in your subconscious, but you don't even want to admit it to yourself. Like, you don't want to take responsibility for your own actions in this, right? Because I feel like you were not necessarily the best. Like, let's just be honest. Sometimes we're not really in the highest vibe, and you were not. You were not. When it was coming to this relationship, I don't think you gave much, like, you were just kind of like, it's whatever. And now you're like maybe thinking about this person and you're like, oh, well, how could I even go approach them? Because if I did approach them, I'd have to say sorry. I'd have to admit that it was not their fault always, like all their fault. It was kind of me too. And you don't want to do that. That's what I'm getting. You don't want to do that. So look, you've had like this major moment of realizations. And I feel like if you go dive, this is what I feel like is going to happen if you dive deep. That you're going to have that realization, that subconscious energy is going to come to the conscious, right? That like thought of, oh shit, maybe this could have had a little bit to do with me, might come to the surface. It's like feelings might come to the surface, thoughts might come to the surface, things from the past might come to the surface, and you're avoiding the shit out of that. That's what I'm getting, Aries. You're really avoiding it because it's easier, again, to be in denial, or it's easier to just go past that. And I feel like you really did care about this person with the ring and the wheel. I feel like this was not somebody, again, with the 10 of Pentacles in union around you, I feel like you thought about this person pretty seriously. So the fact that your actions didn't reflect that, it's kind of like you're bad, right? And you know that. Like, you know that you were kind of left out in the cold and it was kind of your fault. So there's no one really to blame but you. But you know that if you wanted to go talk to this person, if you wanted to, like, yeah, this is you not putting in work. Like, the Tower moment is the fact that you didn't really put work into this. You didn't really show this person like, oh, I want to put work into this. I want to work this out. I'm ready to do whatever it takes. Like, that was not your energy at all. You were like, yo, I'm just going to go do me. I'm just going to go party. I'm going to go do me. If this is going to work out, it's going to work out. And it didn't really work out, obviously, because you were just like, I can't be bothered. So now I feel like you're kind of thinking about long-term stability, and the 10 of Pentacles is like family, right? Like, who would I want to have kids with? Who would I want to start a family with? Like, not even that, just like, who do you want to date even? Like, and you kind of think of this person and you're like, well, I can't go talk to them because I kind of fucked up. And that's what I'm getting with the 3 of Cups. Like, I was just thinking about myself, thinking about what I needed at that time. But you know that you weren't really being fair, and you know that. And you're sitting in like a 5 of Swords. You're anxious about this energy because you know that if you wanted to have a reconciliation with this person or some sort of communication with this person, you'd have to admit that, you know, you were sitting in this energy where you were very selfish and everything kind of just had to be your way. And if they asked you for something and you didn't really, like, they're like, oh, call me or let's talk more. And you're like, oh, sure. And then you just like didn't do that. You just went and lived your life the way you wanted to live it. And I feel like at that time, that was just what your priorities were, you know? Your priority was not this relationship. And now you're thinking of this person that you have a lot of care for. And you're just like, fuck, I can't even like talk to them because then I'd have to apologize. And I feel like that's hard for you. So yeah, you're sitting out here alone and you're wondering like, how can you salvage this situation? And I feel like you know how to salvage it. You know that it has to take some form of communication and admitting to yourself that this might have been a little bit of your responsibility. This is kind of like your fault, I want to say. I don't want to say it like that. Again, it's always two people. But I just felt, I mean, we're going to pull some on this feminine, but I just feel like you didn't want to put in work. And now you want to communicate to this person. You want to turn the wheel. You want to maybe start new. But you're just like, how do I explain this old energy? How do I explain why I was like this in the past? I don't even think you know. And if you do know, I don't think it's a good enough excuse to kind of treat somebody poorly. And I think you also know that. So there's a lot of reasons why you're just like hiding in the corner. I feel like you don't even know what to say. So let's see what this person, I feel like this person knows that you were imbalanced. We have two cards of imbalance here. The masculine and feminine is imbalanced. The two of swords is imbalanced. I feel like this person might have even blocked you or put some sort of barrier against you because they're like, you know what, what's the point? Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? They made a decision maybe a long time ago to just kind of, they saw that you were not balanced between the light and the dark in you, your ego maybe, like there's just something imbalanced here. The person understood that and they walked away. So now what the hell's going to happen here? Because I just feel like you really want to talk to somebody and there's like really nothing you can do and except apologize and admit, you know, that you were in whatever type of energy you wanted to just be single for the time, whatever this is. I don't feel a third party energy, maybe for some of you, but I honestly just feel more of like, I just want to do me. I just want to like not have to worry about calling you. I just want to, you know, go to work and kind of hang out with my friends. I don't really want to be disturbed and like have to worry about you. So bye. Like, I'm just not going to keep answering you. And this person's sitting, I feel like this is the feminine. This person's sitting in crone energy. This is someone who, I feel like that's even more why you're like intimidated, because if this person would have came out as an empress, that would be intimidating. But the fact that this person is coming out as a crone makes me laugh, because this is someone who I feel like has spirit on their side and is very intuitive, kind of like a high priestess vibe. Someone who's very experienced. I feel like this person might be older than you also. So it's not like you're going to, I think this person's older than you, honestly, and you're just like, yo, I don't even know what to do. This person knows about the games. Like they have more experience than you. So the fact that you might have thought that you could play them was a little bit funny here. But yeah. I just want to see what this person thinks. Yeah, so this person has recognized that you were not in the best energy. They know everything. Like, this is someone who I feel like is older than you or more mature or more experienced. This isn't someone that you can like necessarily... Again, I just don't think you can come up to this person without approaching them in the right way. Like, if you wanted to talk to this person, you'd have to like admit that you were wrong, or admit, you know, apologize. And maybe you just want to come in and be like, yeah, nothing, like just like a regular Tuesday, like, oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, you want to hang out, like without apologizing, without doing anything. And I don't think that's obvious. That's not going to work. And you know that. So that's another reason why you can't communicate. So yeah, I feel like the reason that you're hiding a little bit is because coming into to talk to this person, you know that you're gonna have to say something like about the past, and that's not something that I feel like you're ready to do. You're not ready to do that, but you have to do that in order to come and approach this person. So you're kind of stuck here, thinking about somebody, not wanting to apologize, thinking that maybe you can come in without saying anything, thinking you don't have to like talk about the past. Maybe there's enough time that's elapsed. I think you also think like the more time passes by, the more like this won't matter from the past. That's not gonna work either. And I think you know all these things. Again, you're very smart. You're trying to be clever about it, but I feel like this person knows that with the Seven of Swords. They know that you were being like low vibe, maybe even sitting in your ego. You have the Ten of Cups in reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse, and then this person is sitting in a Five of Cups. So this is a soulmate, and I also think that you really put this person into like a sad state. I think you hurt this person. And I feel like this person just wants like not necessarily reciprocity, but like this person's not going to accept anything but like fairness, you know, with you. Like maybe they kind of like gave you the benefit of the doubt in the past, but now that you kind of showed your shadow and you showed like the sneaky energy, this person is on alert with you. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, fool me one time. If this is a crone, it's like you can't fool this person, and you know that. So there's so many things that you know about this person. You know you're dealing with someone who's mature. You know you're dealing with someone who wants to communicate, who has no problem talking about shit, and you're just not ready to do it. So I don't know I mean, Aries, you know what you have to do, but the devil is sitting with this communication. So again, you know that this is the hardest thing for you to do. Admit maybe that you were wrong. Admit that you weren't in a high vibe, all the shit. And I just feel like you're avoiding it because it takes, I mean, maybe you're still in your ego, right? Maybe you're still a little imbalanced. So yeah, this person is Queen of Cups crone. This person, I feel like, gave you their heart. They kind of were very like expressive, and they told you they cared. They told you, you know, that they wanted to be with you, and you kind of just were like, nah, I'm good. So you put this person in this energy, like they felt that maybe you were even juggling them with other people. This person's not stupid. This person recognizes that you were a soulmate, but at the end of the day, I feel like they might have even cut you off because it's like, it's not worth being played by this person. You know, it's not worth it. This is someone who knows their worth. You know, they're not gonna like sit around. And even though I feel like I think the saddest thing for this person is the fact that they like gave you their heart with the Queen of Cups. I feel like that's somebody who, you know, this person really expressed to you how much they care about you, and you kind of just like were like, nah, I'm good. I just want to do my own thing. Maybe you even breadcrumb this person. You know what I mean? You texted them like once a month and were like, oh hey, yeah, remember me? Yeah. I mean, Aries, this person, if you're going to go approach them, you have to communicate. You have to apologize. You have to be the emperor. And there's no point in talking to this person if you're not going to do it the right way. I mean, I hate to say it, but it just is what it is. You can't go up to this person and be like pretending like nothing happened. If you go in that way, this person's going to literally like ignore you. Or meet up with you, see that you have nothing to offer, and probably not talk to you again. Again, that's like the closure that this person needs. Like, let's like see if this person is going to prove that they're still like an asshole. And if you do prove that to them, there's going to be, you know, right now they might be accepting of you like having some sort of communication with them, but that's only because they might think that you're going to apologize, you know. And if they see that you're not apologizing, I just don't feel like this is going to end well for you. I mean, this person is, why do I feel like that? They're sitting in crone energy, and you also put them in a 5 of Cups, and they have the Justice card. So this isn't someone who wants vengeance or anything like that. They're not coming up in reverse in any way. If these cards were in reverse, this would be somebody that you'd have to watch out for because they're going to try to like get back at you or something. But no, what this person wants is just fairness. Right? Like, you hurt me, you made me kind of feel like a fool. If you want to come back into my life, that's all good, but you have to like apologize. You have to say like something here. Yeah. Aries, that's why you don't want to do this. That's why I keep getting the swan, and then I was like, nah, don't pull the swan, do the fox. Because you don't want to look at this. This is very hard for you. I don't want to explore why it's hard for you. I feel like you know that. I feel like for a lot of people, we all suffer from like problems that just kind of like we have, you know, like some people have problems with anger, some people have problems with pride, some people have problems with ego. I mean, we all have problems with ego, but I think for you, it's more of an ego thing. And maybe it's a maturity thing. I'm sorry to say that, Aries, but yeah. If you're not going to apologize, then I just wouldn't even imagine talking to this person. If you're not going to talk about the past and, you know, excuse yourself for that, then there's no point. So that's my advice to you guys. Let's pull some Divine Feminines. I don't think it's that hard that I need to pull so much advice. I feel like the truth is like this person just wants what's fair, right? This person with Justice, they could have Libra in their chart. Yeah, and the scales are here as well. So it's a lot about like reciprocity. It's a lot about give and take, and equal give and take. And, you know, if you say you're going to do something, you do it. And if you don't, you have a reason why you didn't. Like, I feel like this person's very practical, right? Like, it's not that hard to just say, hey, I can't call tonight. Or, hey, you know, but I just feel like you kind of didn't do any of those things. You just kind of like went and lived your life. You kind of disappeared, and you thought that that would be okay. And I don't think it was okay. And I also think that you have to make some sort of apology if you do want to approach this person, Aries. So I guess that is what the deep dive is. Like, how much do you value this person and how much do you value this relationship? You obviously feel like you do, but you feel like you showed this person you didn't. So it's hard for you to like, and then you don't want to apologize. So if you don't want to do any of those things, Aries, then I just wouldn't even hit this person off. Let's pull a Divine Feminine. Okay, Aries, I'm getting another thing with this. It's like, maybe you told this person that you didn't really want to be single. I mean, that you didn't want to be in a relationship. Maybe you did kind of give them the hint that like you weren't really necessarily trying to really be in a relationship. Like, maybe your excuse here is like, I never really said to this person, you know, I want to be in a relationship. I feel like this person knew that I was kind of like wanting to do my own thing. I feel like maybe even it was stated here that it was like, you know, I'm single and I don't really want anything from this. Like, I'm getting for some of you guys, you did kind of communicate that you weren't available at the time. So I feel like that's kind of the reason why you feel like coming back in. There's not necessarily that much of a like explanation that you need to give, because it was like I already kind of told them from the beginning that I wasn't in that energy to kind of have a relationship at the time. So the fact that this person might have, you know, thought that that was going to happen, that's not what this was about. Like, I wasn't ready. I don't know, there's something here about that, and I feel like that's kind of bullshit, Aries. I feel like you knew how this person felt about you, and if you didn't want this person to get the wrong idea, then you shouldn't have been, like, for some of you guys, you might have been like having sex with this person, but you were like, nah, but I don't want to be serious, you know. But you knowing that this is someone who's very close to you, that really like cares about you, that wants to be with you, and you were like maybe having sex with them, and you were like, but I don't want to be with you. Like, I'm just, you know, I'm just hitting you up because I need you for today, but like I don't want to see you tomorrow. Like, that was the vibe here I'm getting for some of you, and that's also like unacceptable. So I feel like you understand that either way you look at it, it was kind of a mess up on your part, and you can look at it as, you can make it as many excuses as you want for yourself, but I thought this and I told them this and whatever the hell you want to say to yourself. But again, if you're still sitting in that energy where you're like, I told them and I don't think I need to explain things to them and I don't think I need to apologize, then just don't show up, Aries. Like, I'll be honest, like, there's just no point. This is someone in a Crone and Queen of Cup energy. This is someone who sat in a Five of Cups because of you. And I honestly feel like if you knew how this person felt, you could have had sex with anybody else. You could have texted anybody else. You could have literally not tried to hurt somebody that had such a deep bond with you. You could have done that with anyone else. Like, I'm not saying that it's fair to do that to anybody. I'm just saying, like, you chose to pick a soulmate to kind of fuck around with, or whatever the hell you wanted to do. I don't know what the hell this is. But whatever it is, Aries, it was wrong. And again, if you're not willing to see that yourself, then there's no point in coming to this person. So I know this is like kind of tough to hear. I'm supposed to be on your side, Aries, but at the end of the day, for whoever this masculine energy is, you messed up, and it's like, it is what it is. I'm not gonna pretend like, because it's your read, you weren't the one that was being an ass, right? So with Yaji Zogyal, Lady of the Lotus Born, embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. Yeah, your body, again, I kind of feel like this has to do with sex. With embodiment, my body was made for alignment. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. I feel like you want to say again, like, none of this is your fault, and you just kind of want to wash your hands of this, and you want this person to just be on board with you and what you think. And I feel like they're saying, like, that's not what the body was made for. That's not what these bonds were made for you to like use somebody and run away, or for you to like take advantage of somebody, or for you to breadcrumb somebody. Again, yeah, it's like you could just admit that maybe you were imbalanced at the time and move forward and communicate and apologize. But again, if you're still sitting at a low vibe where you can't even see the fact that you need to apologize, or you're still thinking to yourself you don't need to, again, just don't approach this person, Aries. It's just going to be a waste of everyone's time. Your body was made, again, like, even sex was made for a deeper bond between people. It's like, again, a soulmate was put on on earth for a deeper bond than, you know, and these are all gifts that I feel like you might have betrayed. So at the end of the day, Aries, you can do whatever you want. But you need to understand that we all mess up and we all make mistakes, and it takes, you know, a big person to apologize. And I think that's what you need to do. So yeah, Aries, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. Yeah, look at that's at the bottom of the deck. Abundance and wisdom, right? You can have everything you want if you take the knowledge and turn it into wisdom. How do you take what you've learned and apply it? You learned a lot of shit. You kind of learned, you know, you learned what you needed to learn from the cycle. And to turn it into wisdom, you need to apply it. You need to apply that knowledge. So how do you apply it? Again, apologizing. And if you don't mean it, again, don't do it. Just don't approach this person. But yeah, that's what I'm getting, Aries. I love you guys. I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.